Hey, what's going on, guys? The Dvzl Team Stand Draw here, bringing you guys a Tachikaze deck profile. Love my Tachikaze deck. Playing G Tachikazes, let's jump right in. Starter is Baby Chimera. When he's retired, GB1, I can counterblast 1, search the deck for up to 1 grade 1, call to rear guard, plus 3,000. A really good starter. Basically searches out for the grade 1s, really good. Next, trigger lineup. I'm having fun with the trigger lineup, so I'm playing one stand. I never want to check the stand. Honestly, I just want to retire it. His ability is when he gets retired, draw a card, put him at the bottom of the deck, shuffle. Really good in my opinion, and give a unit plus 5,000. So play that one. Playing 3 draw triggers. Use the Margot clone. Really playing 3 draw triggers just for the Dogma turns, but we'll get to that later. Playing 8 critical. This critical is the Gaia critical, putting the soul, plus 5,000, draw, and the other 4 critical are the Ancient Dragon critical, putting the soul, unflip a damage. Playing 8 crit, you reliable crits, a lot of soul building. And last but not least, 4 heal triggers. G Guardian's out, gotta use heal triggers. That's it. Grade 1s, I'm playing 4 Stride Fighters. 4 Stride Fighters. 4 Stride Fighters just because there's nothing else to play, honestly. There's a couple tech cards I could have used, but really it was really personal preference. 4 unflipping PGs. You have a copy and damage zone, unflip a damage GPGs. Next I'm playing 4 the Cold Dragon Freezernix. If you have a Gaia Vanguard and this unit gets retired, counter charge, soul charge, and choose a unit on the field, and that gets 2,000 power. Really good with Gaia, really good with Dogma, and turns the GR Stride into a free card. So, and last but not least, Savage Heron. She's my Tekken up 2. She gets 3,000 power for every engorged unit or unit that's engorged, and she has engorged herself. So engorge is when a unit attacks that they have engorged. Choose any number of units to retire, and it becomes engorged. Grade 2s. Grade 2s. Here's what the surprise is for this deck, but we'll get to it. I'm playing 3 Psycho Blaze. Psycho Blaze is the Silent Tom of this deck. So when he becomes engorged, my opponent and I attack. My opponent can't call grade 0s to the Guardian Circle. Played at 3. Good card. Really good finishing card on Dogma turns. Playing 2 Jigsasaurus. When it's boosted, I can counterblast 1, eat a card, and I can choose one of my opponent's cards to retire. This unit gets plus 5,000, and the new skill, if I hit, I draw. Really good card. Only played at 2 though. I'm gonna play 2 of the Glimmerbreath clone for this deck. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Unit gets 2k, and when he becomes engorged, that gets a new ability. It gets plus 5,000 and a draw. So basically, he's a 16k attacker if you become engorged and do the skill. 16k attacker when you have Gaia. I'm playing 2 Tank Mammoth. Tank Mammoth is a really good card. Doesn't need Generation Break to activate a skill. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When he gets retired, call him back, plus 3,000. So when he dies, he comes back as 11k attacker. Really good. And my tech card is 2 of Ancient Dragon Knight Armor. So you're never going to use his skill, but if you want to know his skill, his ability is choose one of the Ancient Dragon Rear Guards, retire it. If your Vanguard's in Legion, you get the new ability of 5,000 power, and the new ability of when he hits, he can counter charge. But never going to use his ability, mainly using him for the Legion, which is the 4 of grade 3 that I have in deck. Magma Armor. I'm playing the Legion because the Legion works really good with Engorge, in my opinion. When he's in Legion, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Every time a unit goes to the drop zone, pay the cost. If you do, call that unit to rear guard. So Play that with Engorge, it's really good. And his second ability, which is it gets 3,000 power when there's another card in the center column. So when he's in Legion, that's already 2 cards in the center column. So there you go. And last but not least, the bad boy of the deck, which is Emperor Dragon Gaia Emperor. I play it at 4. His ability is Generation Break 2. When he becomes engorged, this unit gets 5,000 in a crit. And his on-stride ability is when you stride on top of this unit, you can counterblast 1, choose up to 2 units from your hand, call it to field, and choose up to 2 units, 2 rear guards on the field. When they get retired, they're automatically called back. They're called back from rear guards, so you can do some pretty janky stuff. Give it to the Freezer Nix, retire it, call it back, give it 2k, counter charge, soul charge because of its ability. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with it. On to the G-Zone. G-Zone, I'm playing 1 Arch Raider. I don't really like Arch Raider. Arch Raider's okay, but he's an okay first stride. When he attacks, retire rear guard, and this unit gets 5k, and the new ability, when it hits, I choose one of my opponent's rear guards to retire. It's okay. It's not really okay. It's okay. It's not the best. My real first stride is Grotto Giant, whatever his name is. He's a really good card. He has Engorge first and foremost, and his ability is when he becomes engorged, for each unit that he engorges, he gets 5,000 power, and if he engorges 3 or more, draw 1 card. With Gaia, that's pretty much you retire 3 to call 2 units back and draw a card. It's really good in my opinion. I think that's a really better first stride versus Arch Raider, but that's my opinion. Playing 1 Tempest. Excuse me. Playing 1 Tempest, never decide to use him more than once. His abilities: Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2, retire 3 rear guards, and he gets to wipe every player's field. Really good card. Play him at 1 though, so only expect to do his ability once, if not never. And last but not least, we're playing the bad boy of the deck, Gluttony Dogma. So he's the restander of the deck. He has Engorge. His ability is when this unit becomes engorged, if I retire 3 or more, he gets 10,000 power. And if I retire 5 or more, he gets a new skill of stand this unit and he loses twin drive. I'm sorry, he loses triple drive and goes to twin drive, so 5 checks basically. Really good with Emperor. Playing the 1 Blizza and the 1 Seabreeze. Honestly, in my opinion, I think these are the two of the 4 Tekken cards that you have to play. Blizzard's really good, power for each face up, and Seabreeze can grade 2 gamey. Then for G Guardians, I'm playing 2 of the Tachikaze one. This unit requires you to have less than or equal to number of rear guards than your opponent, and it gets 5,000 power. Really good. Okay, could use better, but that's what we got. 1 Dark. Dark's for the protection of units like Sako Blaze or other cards, and 1 Screw. Screws for the defense. Tachikaze, definitely a really good deck. Don't get me wrong. It's can basically wipe out your field. Really good. One of my favorites besides Aqua Force or Royals. So if anything, check it out. Tell me how you guys feel about the deck, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.